Welcome back to episode 73 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. I am back in the comfort of this dungeon here. It feels good that I'm going to be doing a full episode today after Matt rudely kicked me off the show last Monday. So,
Exactly. Yep.
yes, that's exactly what happened. Before I get into the topics that we want to discuss today, and before I ask you guys how we're doing, I have a joke that I've been sitting on for the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to use it now. For those of you that know, we do a football podcast, a football show. We will not be doing a remembering O.J. Simpson episode. I just want to make that clear. We're not doing that. I just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. We will not be doing a tribute episode of O.J. Simpson. I just want to make sure we're all clear about that. Okay. Uh, Before we get into the topics of what we want to do today, how are we doing, gentlemen?
I will not lie to the people. I try to be an honest man in everything that I say and do. I have been better. In my 20 years on this earth, I have had better days. You're probably looking at my eye right now, and it's a little red. And it is not because I was participating in the Devil's Lettuce on 420, and I'm still recovering from that. That is not the case. I've been diagnosed with pink eye. Yeah, lovely.
Nasty mother.
Yeah, exactly. No, I have no idea where I picked it up. Probably the gym. If I had to be, had to give a guess, probably the gym. But got the eye drops. We're medicating it. Got a bit of a cold here too. Losing my voice a little bit. But we're toughing it out, and that's my dedication to the podcast right here. My feels are rolling. Love to see it. Kyle, how's it going?
Not too bad, man. I will say that the gym was where you had said you got that from. I feel like that might have been a cop-out answer.
That is not a cop-out answer. I know what you all are thinking. You're disgusting to be thinking any of that kind of gross stuff. But,
yes.
Yeah, I don't know where I picked it up.
No, I've been better, baseball-wise. My Yankees have ran into a skid. I don't know what the hell is going on. Fucking stupid. But anyway.
Captain. What? Where's the captain to save the team when they need it?
He's still there. He's perfectly fine, wonderful, as he always is.
I think Juan Soto should be the next captain.
Yeah, you're crazy, dude. You're losing me very quickly in this pod. We're not even 5 minutes into this podcast, and you're losing me. Maybe after Judge retires. But anyway, no, other than that, I'm not doing too bad.
Awesome. What do we got on the slate today, Melo?
I think somebody had enough of your shit, man. Give you a nice sock to the face right there. I mean, that's what happened.
It does sort of look like it, yeah.
I'm doing good. Dodgers, what the fuck's going on? I know like we're not 60 games into the season yet, but talk about having a miserable 9 games at home. Jesus, you only went 2-7 on the homestand? What a joke. And there's not many positives coming out of that. But anyways, it's a conversation for another day. The things that we got on topic for today. Of course, Matt had to put this the first thing on here. Phillies have won 6 straight. How confident are you? How confident are you that the Braves are going to win the National League East? Buy, sell, or hold the Guardians and Royals starts to their season. What to make of the Matt didn't put this in here, but I'll say it for him, the crappy NL Central. And then yesterday, again, Ohtani continues to dazzle Major League Baseball and make history. He is now your all-time leader in home runs by a Japanese-born player, passing Yankees legend Hideki Matsui, which I've mentioned this to Kyle a million times. I'm surprised out of all the because, basically the Yankees have every jersey number retired in Monument Park there. I'm surprised that he doesn't have his number retired. He was an MVP. I'm surprised.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I did start with the Phillies and the Braves there because the Phillies are on a roll right now. And we outshined the Mets.
Yesterday, no?
Yes, I did get to see a win yesterday. Got to see that in person. Love to see it. We outshined the Mets in their little 5-game run that they were on. The Dodgers put that to an end yesterday, but Phillies 6-game heater, and granted, yeah, we swept the Rockies and the White Sox in that process. Two of the worst teams, if not the two
Good
worst
job, Matt.
teams. I know, big round of applause to Bryce Harper and the
Might
gang.
as well end the season now. Give the Phillies a trophy.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But I do have a spicy take, and I am confident in it though as well. Let me lay it out for you right now. This is how the Phillies could be the best team in the National League. The starting pitching is rolling right now between Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. We haven't seen the best Aaron Nola yet. Spencer Turnbull is performing like an all-star at this point, performing like he wants to get top 10 votes in NL Cy Young. Ranger Suarez off to a dominant start, not giving up an earned run yet this season. That is a beautiful starting four. Debatably the best rotation in baseball, the way it's performing. Taijuan Walker making a rehab start down in Lehigh Valley and making his way back soon to the big league level.
Do you want to
starting
talk
pitching? Do I want to talk about the start? Not necessarily, but I want to talk about him getting back to the big league level eventually. Starting rotation looks great. Best in baseball, you could make a case. The lineup up and down. We haven't seen Bryce Harper go yet. He hasn't hit all his cylinders so far. He's running at half power or less. He was in a massive slump to start the season. He's not fully clicking on the power side of things. Nick Castellanos has been a joke this season. Just forgot how to hit in the offseason. It's those Corona commercials, I think, is he spent too much time filming those, and now he forgot how to hit.
I think he was sipping those Coronas on when they weren't filming.
He may have been. I might be calling for some more natural disasters in order for Nick Castellanos to remember how to hit a ball again. But anyway, Phillies.
I mean, you had somebody died like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he didn't.
I'm surprised
he didn't homer that day. No, he didn't. Phillies rotation looks great. Phillies lineup. Their offense is doing okay, but we all know it can hit another gear yet too. And then the bullpen has been atrocious so far. Jose Alvarado is trying to blow every save he has the opportunity to. Sir Anthony Dominguez has like a 5 ERA. I would like to see Orion Kerkering get some more high leverage innings in the future going forward. Jose Alvarado needs to figure it out. I'm confident in him. And then go out and acquire somebody. Maybe somebody you just saw, Michael Kopech from the White Sox. He's been looking good this year. Acquire somebody. I know it's early in the season, but you got to figure it out in this bullpen. And if all those things can click, in which we're pretty confident in two of the things, the starting pitching and the lineup, if the bullpen, the starting pitching and the lineup, and if the bullpen can figure it out, that is how the Phillies can be the best team in the National League. And in terms of my confidence level for the Braves winning the division, it's sputtering a little bit. It really is. No? You don't think so, Melo?
I mean, I can see why you feel like that. I know you're only a game behind the Atlanta Braves, but it's just for me, the Phillies, a lot of stuff has to happen. Like you just laid out like 3 or 4 different things that has to happen. And you didn't sound so confident in like 2 of them. Matt, your mic's out.
I was
There we
muted.
go.
I'm sorry. The only thing I'm not confident in is the Phillies bullpen turning around. I'm confident in I'm confident in Bryce Harper getting going. I'm confident in this lineup reaching another gear yet, and in this rotation staying healthy and staying the way they've been to start the year. So I'm pretty confident in those things.
Fair. But again, I know there's another level to it, the Braves. And again, the Philly thing is going to be like, postseason, we beat them 2 years in a row. As you should feel like that. I'll give you this. I don't think I think the division will be a lot closer this year than it has been in the last couple seasons. I think the Phillies are going to be right there in the end. And again, I mentioned them at the start of the season when we were making our predictions. How about those New York Mets being a pain in the ass so far this season? After a slow, abysmal start, you had Gary Cohen ready to blow his head off after an 0-5 start to the season. And then they're going on a little run here. They took 2 out of 3 from my Dodgers over the weekend. And
Womp womp.
okay, we're going to do that now.
Just
They're,
saying.
they're 12-9, yes. But you can see that the Mets, again, they may not make the postseason. They may not even be a 500 team by the end of the season. But for right now, they're a pain in the ass and they're competitive. And I think if you're a Mets fan, that's all you want. So it may not be just the power two in the National League East. Maybe you have to give the Mets a little bit of notice in there. I'm not going to say respect. It's still too early for that.
Melo, I am so glad you brought up the New York Mets. I really am.
I had to.
Why?
Freaking Francisco Lindor hit another home run over the weekend.
Listen, the Mets are one pitching staff away from figuring this thing out. If they can figure this pitching staff out and maybe bring in another guy and kind of just fill the right holes when it comes to that pitching staff, I think this Mets team can be competitive. Melo, I think you and I were the only ones who gave the Mets any credit in the preseason standings. But we are talking about primarily the Phillies and the Braves here. So
I don't want to talk about the Phillies.
the Phillies are a good team. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm not going to go out here and say that they're going to take over this division. You got to show me a little bit more than the Rockies and the White Sox for me to believe in this. For me to believe in this they're on. Listen,
That's fair.
Here's the thing, though. The Phillies took care of business where they were supposed to take care of business.
Exactly.
And they did it in pretty impressive fashion, too. This pitching staff is on a whole new level. I like what I've been seeing from them. But I am concerned. When Taijuan Walker comes back, where's his place? Because Christopher Sanchez, it's hard to look over him. It is
I don't know.
hard to look over him. I'm sorry, but he's doing his job. And
He's doing good this year.
Taijuan Walker has worried me ever since he put on that Phillies uniform. I'm sorry, he has. And I feel like they got a damn good thing going in that pitching staff. Yeah, the lineup's got to come around, but this pitching staff is holding it down right now. And like you said, Nola isn't even on his best stuff yet. So that's what worries me, is that they're going to try to get too cute with this and shove Taijuan Walker into that 5 spot, move Sanchez into the bullpen, send him down, whatever the hell they're going to do with him. And I don't think it's going to be the right move. However, like Melo said, I feel like a lot of things got to go right for Philly here. I believe in them. I'm not ever going to sit here and say that they can't take over the Braves, but I feel like it's still the Braves' division to lose. All they need to do is play. If all of their guys, Marcelo Ozuna, let's take a moment. Yes, he's on a whole new level right now. And to the start of this season, he has been a damn good player. He's looking like old-fashioned Ozuna here. But this Braves team just needs to keep playing. And like Melo said, I don't think that they've reached top gear yet. And
They haven't, but you said a lot of things need to go right for the Phillies. In comparison to that, things have gone wrong for the Braves so far. In terms of Spencer Strider getting injured, Sean Murphy's been injured to start the season. I believe Ozzie Albies has had a 10-day IL stint. Acuna's got off to a very slow start. And even Matt Olson and Austin Riley haven't gotten off to just these incredible starts to the season. Your rotation isn't exactly what people thought going into the season. Without Spencer Strider, you start to look at it like, well, I mean, yeah, we were hyping it up. It is a different team. We were hyping it up about not being worried about them last week. And I'm not saying I'm worried about them, but I'm saying in terms of the Phillies possibly beating them in the NL East, I think it's a chance. Chris Sale, he can maybe be a dependable starter, and he's going to give you a good start, maybe 1 out of 3 times. But I don't know that you can count on Chris Sale to be a consistent number 2 in your rotation.
And he's due for an IL stint too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, what have
I
I
hate to
seen
say
in
it,
the
yeah.
last couple seasons to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Exactly. So I think things have been going moderately wrong for the Braves, and a couple things aren't clicking for the Phillies, and the Phillies are already nipping at their tail. That I think there's a legitimate chance this could be the Phillies' year to beat them in the NL East.
But do the Phillies care about winning the division though?
You know, people say that, and I really think they do.
I think they should.
At their heart of hearts, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's your main goal in the season is winning the division, and aside from that, if you can't do that, then it's making the playoffs. So I think it should be their main goal, and they should be striving to it. But at the end of the day, when you make it to the playoffs anyway, and still make it the whole way to the NLCS in back-to-back years, it's kind of easy to say, put it in cruise control. We'll figure it out come October.
Exactly, and the Phillies are in this unique situation where, okay, they're gonna try and win the division. If they don't, hey, you know what? The Braves won their 105, 106 games. We won our 95, 96. And you know what? We get to host a 3-game wild card series against the crappiest team in the NL Central. And we get to, or some crappy team out of the AL East. And we get to beat up on them 2 straight nights. And then we'll get the Braves again. And where they're going to be having with all the pressure. It's kind of crazy that the Phillies have fallen into like this unique situation where would we love to win the division? Absolutely. But it's not something that they need. It's a luxury. It's not something that they have to have. Like I think Atlanta would. But I mean, granted, they
Exactly.
can't. They've gotten it and they haven't been able to protect it anyways. But
See, and
Yeah.
I will also play devil's advocate here. Matt, you had said that things are going wrong for the Braves, but here they are, still 1 game ahead of your Phillies. That's also the other token of things that you got to look at. Yes, not everything has clicked for this Phillies team, but they look good. Like I said, this pitching staff is on a historic run right now. The Braves, however, are not. They have multiple superstars who are not competing at a high level right now. Wait until they go off. Wait until this pitching staff starts to form a little bit and kind of give them the innings that they've been hoping for. That's also the way I'm going to look at it here for a little bit, just because this Braves team hasn't been to where they are, and a lot of things have gone wrong. But you can also say a lot of things have gone right for the Phillies. And looking at standings, just the way things are right now, they're still 1 game ahead.
and in a 162 game season, things average out.
Yes.
Things just tend to average themselves out.
They do. But it's not like Spencer Strider's had a couple bad starts. I mean, he's out for the year. So the only way that evens out is if the Phillies lose a star or a superstar for the whole season, which is possible. I mean, I would hope that, knock on wood right here, that it doesn't happen. But it's possible. But to say that that would even out might not. The Braves might just get a bigger stroke of bad luck for this season. We'll see. The Phillies, yeah, they're due theirs. Maybe their bad luck is Nick Castellanos not being able to hit a ball any better than me in high school. So that's a worry, but it's not the biggest worry in the world at this point. But now the question was confidence level. I'm going to put a percentage on the Braves winning the division this year still. 65%. Now, what do you guys got?
I think that's a little low. To be honest
Low?
with you.
Okay. Well,
I was thinking more 75, 80%.
I was going 80.
80. Ooh. Okay. I mean, that matches up with the arguments we made, so that makes sense. Yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
I would like to see it flipped.
I would
I
love
would like
to see
the
it flipped.
Phillies.
Yes. Now we wanted to move on and talk about the AL Central a little bit. Some teams are off to some
Oh,
interesting starts there, though. Um, Guardians off to a 16-6 start, best for a top 5 record in baseball.
Melo.
Yeah, Kyle, you remember that moment?
Of course I do. Gleyber Torres looking to the yeah. I remember that very well.
Yeah, that came back to bite good old Josh Naylor a little
You are
bit.
damn
But
right it did.
16-6 start for the Guardians this season,
is
and the
Cleveland
Royals.
believe land again?
Hey, that's for the Cavs only, man. That's for the Cavs only, and we're
They
whooping
play.
up on them Magic.
They play across the street. It's the same thing. That
Yeah,
magic
okay.
will trickle over in a progressive field.
Royals off to a 13-9 start to the season. Not quite as hot, but big improvement from where they were last year. So are we buy, selling, or holding on their start to the season, starting with the Royals? You guys were high on them going into the season, like very high. So I'm curious to see where you're at right now.
I still am. I still
Still?
am high on them.
Okay.
Again, you're not. This is the same argument that I'm gonna make for the Guardian. I mean, for the Guardians. It's 162 games. Things average out over a span like that, and it's impressive what Cleveland has done. I just don't know if it's sustainable for a full 162. And again, I think somewhere along the lines of 84, 85, 86 wins is going to get this division done. Is going to win this division. And listen, all my eggs are in the Royals basket right now, and I'm not going to go away from that. I still think that this is Kansas City's going to win this division.
So
And while they haven't gotten off to the hot start, I think they are going to hit their stride here in a couple weeks.
So that's buying the Royals start and selling the Guardians start.
If I had to do that, yes.
Okay. Kyle,
No
where are you at
disrespect.
on
Yeah, so
both of these teams?
For me, I'm same as Melo when it comes to Kansas City Royals. I am buying this team 100%. I picked them to win the division, and I'm not going away from that. I I still think this team is capable of it. Looking at the Guardians side of things, it's impressive, man. It really is. Sure as hell not the start I thought they would get off to. But the team chemistry that they have is there. I mean, Stephen Kwan, Josh Naylor, these guys are kind of holding down the fort. And when it comes to team chemistry, especially Josh Naylor, I mean, he's a guy that you want on your team. He really is. But I'm holding on the Guardians just because they've gotten off to the really hot start and things don't seem to be slowing down. But I'm also not buying into them because I sure as hell didn't see this, and I don't necessarily think that I'm going to put a whole lot of confidence into them. The Royals, I am 100% buying though. That's kind of a team that I adopted a little bit over the offseason just because of how high I am on them. So I'm sticking through with them.
So for me, looking at the Royals first, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit split here because their rotation, some of the guys have been off to a good start. Seth Lugo and Brady Singer. Singer having a big bounce back year after last year, and Seth Lugo, you were not looking for him to be this good. Just over a 2 ERA to start the season. You were not looking for that. And then Cole Reagans, you thought you had a new ace in Cole Reagans, and he's not off to a good start. He's off to a pretty bad start. And Michael Waka has been a mixed bag here. He's had some good starts. He's had a couple 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs start. So I'm a little bit torn on that rotation. Is this gonna even out in terms of Reagans is gonna improve and Seth Lugo is gonna sort of regress a little bit again back to what we thought, or is it gonna be Lugo is still gonna be good, Waka's gonna figure it out, Reagans is gonna figure it out, and Singer's gonna be good, and this is gonna be an elite rotation? I think there's a world where that happens, and not to mention Bobby Witt Jr. has not fully gone this season. This whole offense has not fully gotten going this season. So I think that's going to lead me to buy on the Royals start. And the Guardians, consider what they're doing without Shane Bieber. And this rotation has been mediocre, not bad, not good though either necessarily.
It's been worse in years past.
It has been worse, and doing this now the rest of the season without Shane Bieber, they're going to miss him, and they're going to need these good starts from Tanner Bybee and from Tristan McKenzie. You're going to need the five innings pitched, 5 innings pitched, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, no earned runs starts where they're getting more of the 3-4 earned runs. But the offense has been top tier this year. So I think I'm going to hold a little bit on the Guardians. We'll see where that rotation lands. But I like what I'm seeing from the offense. I'm confident in the offense this year. Josh Naylor on a whole nother level.
How sustainable is that Cleveland offense, though? That's what I keep going back to. I don't see them putting this kind of production out there every single game. I don't see it. I like it, and it'd be cool to see that. I think this Cleveland team has the potential, but with the names in that lineup, I just don't see, other than J-Ram, keeping this up for an entire season. Maybe Josh Naylor, but these other guys, the supporting cast, I can't get behind it.
And here's the thing that's going to be so fascinating for me. I know we're a long way from this, but again, I don't think it's going to take that many wins to get this division.
No.
And whoever, because it seems like the way it's going right now, it seems like the Guardians and the Royals and maybe the Tigers. But for right now, just since we're talking about them, Royals and Guardians, it seems like they're going to be neck and neck the whole way through. Who's going to panic at the trade deadline? Because there's always that one team every season that is, oh shit, we didn't think we were going to be in this position come July 31st, August 1st. We have to do something. Who's gonna blink? Is it going to be the Royals or is it going to be the Guardians? Because I think I can see it more with the Guardians because I don't think they thought that they would have a start like this. And if it continues, I don't think this is the season they thought they were going to have. With the Royals, it's like, okay, a lot of people had us as people, to win the division. We know we're really good. I'm so fascinated because there's always one team every trade deadline that panics and overspends for a player by some sort.
And on the other side of that, excuse me, the Guardians are known to be a sort of cheaper franchise. And if they can deal somebody on an expiring contract to get some prospects in return so they don't have to pay that guy, they're known to do that. So if they're in a place like last year where they were in a spot where they could be competing for the division, but they chose not to. So if you see that again this year, then I lose all faith in the Guardians. But I'm hoping they're in a better spot where the division is more in their control or more very attainable. And then they won't do a trade away Aaron Savali deal like they did. But we'll see how it pans out when it gets to that time, I guess. But
and this is also interesting too, because when you look at the Royals side of things, they're spending money. They are finally spending money. So do they kind of lock in at the deadline and they say, you know what, let's go get a few more pieces. We're win now. We are in this mode. Do they go out there and they get one of these? I couldn't even tell you just because of how young it is in the season. But there could be names out there that could push this Royals team over the edge and actually be a true contender. And that's another interesting thing that I'm going to be really watching the Royals closely at the deadline. Because I think they're finally away from the sellers' point of view, and I think they've gotten into the buyers. I'm very, very interested to see what this Royals team does.
Yeah.
They were the first team in the offseason, the Royals, that they were the first team in that division that realized, holy shit, if we spend some money, we could actually win this division next year.
Yeah,
They were the
everybody else
first team to
sucks.
recognize that. Yeah, everybody in this division fucking stinks. All we
Exactly.
have to do is spend some money, and we're gonna win the division. If not, we're gonna at least be competitive. And it
Yep.
took somebody like 3 or 4 years to finally realize that.
Yeah. We
100.
thought it was going to be the Twins there for a second, but they're just so beat up with injuries right now too, and not off to a hot start. But um, sticking around in the Central, we move to the NL Central. Then Melo called it crappy to start the podcast off. The current standings before the recording of this podcast: Brewers 14-6, Cubs 13-9, Reds 12-9, Pirates elite and even 11-11, and Cardinals 9-13.
Oh shit!
How about it?
Yeah, yeah. So just a sort of couple things that I wanted to hit on specifically
What
that I
idiot
thought.
said the Cardinals were gonna be better this year?
Well, yeah, I'm guilty of that. But
I
did people underestimate the Brewers too coming into the season?
I think there's a little
Because
bit of that going around.
there is. People are like, oh, they traded away Corbin Burns. Boom, that's minus like 10 losses, and now they're currently last in the division. But people thought they were going to be last in the division, and they're currently first. Um, and is it the same old Cardinals? Same as last year? Is this the same thing? Do they just actually suck? Um, of course, anything else you guys want to hit on in Central too. But Melo, you said people did underestimate the Brewers, you think?
I think so. You just laid it out. They traded Corbin Burns, and it's like, well, okay. There again, you said it. There's 10 less wins right there. The thing again, the thing that I think drove a lot of people away is that there's not for the casual fan. There's not that many notable guys on this team. Now I know, like people who watch it every day. They'll be like, "There's this guy. There's this guy." I've been so impressed with Jackson Chourio to start the season. Dude's fun to watch. He is fun to watch. He steals bases. He gets on base, hits for power. He can hit for average. I've been so impressed so far. Um, Christian Yelich seems like
He's having a good year.
he's having a bounce back good year. We're not asking him to be, 2018 Yelich and hit 40 home runs and drive in 120, but can you give us, 20, 25? Can you give us 80? Like, that's all we need. That's all we want to see. Um, the spotlight has been on Milwaukee for the last couple seasons to compete and win. Again, this is one of those teams that I think a lot of people lost faith in them this offseason, and they're just playing with house money because all the attention is in Chicago and all the attention is in Cincinnati. And then you got this
Yep.
Brewers team that's flying under the radar a little bit. And it's very fun. And it's enjoyable to watch Brewers baseball so far this season.
Rhys Hoskins has added a huge spark to this offense. I think that was very much needed.
I'll pat
Um,
myself on the back. I said he should go to the Brewers. I called it. I'll give myself 2 points right there.
there you go. Honestly, that was like a 3-pointer too. Honestly, that was a great. You predicted him right to the Brewers. You were flat out right, 100% confident. So yeah, that was like a Curry logo 3. But
Yes. He's in Cancun, by the way.
William Contreras too,
Yep.
another guy not to overlook, adding a nice little spark to this Brewers offense. He's off to a great start to the season. Freddie Peralta too at that starting position. Yeah, Matt. Starting pitcher in the rotation there. And they're piecing it together with some of these guys. It's not Corbin Burns and Freddie Peralta and Brandon Woodruff leading the way, but it's Freddie Peralta and Wade Miley and Colin Rea. And you get some of these other guys in there too. And they're piecing it together a little bit. It's not the vaunted Brewers rotation of 2021, but still, it's been a good enough rotation, and you got the offense finally rolling. I felt like we were talking about the Brewers' stale offense. If it wasn't Christian Yelich powered the whole season, it was the rotations might only give up one earned run, but can the Brewers even get one earned run or one run in order to balance that out? And this year they've been able to. So I like what I'm seeing from the Brewers. I'm not 100% confident this is what the season is going to end up looking like, up and down the division, but I like what I've seen from them so far.
And there's a certain sorry, Kyle, I know you want to go. There's a certain shortstop that I would love my team to acquire, but if they keep keeping this up, they're gonna be like, go hump yourself. We're competing to win this damn division. God damn it. That's Willie Adames, by the way, just to make sure. Bryce Durant too. He's hitting over 300 with a couple home runs.
Yeah.
So I really think you can kind of piece the Brewers together with this little segment that we've been on, because every time you guys mention somebody, I was thinking of somebody else in my head. It started with Rhys Hoskins, and then it went to William Contreras, and then it went to Bryce Turang, and then it went to Willie Adames, and you guys pinpointed them each along the way, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, here's somebody else who's also producing. And then this entire way, I agree with everything you guys say and kind of took the words out of my mouth. So, but I think that's the story of the Brewers this year, right? They're getting the production in this lineup where you wouldn't necessarily think you might get it. I mean, obviously you have the big names, Yelich, Contreras, Hoskins, guys like that, but then you have that supporting cast. And Jackson Chourio has been off to a great season, and it's been very cool to see. However, the pitching staff worries me a little bit. I like what I've seen out of Freddie Peralta, but past that, it's a little shaky. And I understand there's some veterans in there who can get the job done. But how sustainable is that pitching staff? It worries me. I'm not worried about the offense. I think that showed that it can produce. But the pitching staff does worry me a little bit. With Chicago, I'm up in the air with them. I still think they're a good team, if I'm sticking with my prediction, I still think they're going to win the division. I think they're just kind of floating a little bit, kind of gaining a little bit of traction, figuring it out. I think they'll be okay. Shota Imanaga has looked like the best offseason acquisition. Awesome. He has been great. I absolutely love to see it.
What are you talking about? It's Yamamoto.
Something like that. Imanaga looks great, and I think he fits Chicago so well. Last team I want to touch on here a little bit, St. Louis Cardinals. What the fuck is going on? We said it all preseason. I thought that this team would turn this shit around, and it just looks like the same old Cardinals team from last year. Yeah. I don't know what is in the water in St. Louis. I don't know what's going on there, but it worries me a lot. And there's really only so much that Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt can do. And this pitching staff is old, man. A lot of veterans.
Goldschmidt's not carrying his weight right now. No, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
He's off to a brutal start. And we're going to start having is Paul Goldschmidt washed conversations very soon here. I mean, at age 36 and a sub 200 batting average.
And at the Cardinals missed their window to trade him.
That too.
Yeah, that year. The Phillies would have paid a nice price for him last season, I bet. And glad we didn't do that. But still, yeah, I think we're going to get to a Paul Goldschmidt wash conversation here real soon.
See, but it's also the fact that Paul Goldschmidt shouldn't be the only one producing on this team. He shouldn't be the only one who's having these type of numbers with Nolan Arenado. This is a club who has a very nice supporting cast around those two guys. Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker when he finally takes off. These are guys who really should be producing. This team reminds me a lot of the Brewers, but the Brewers are doing everything right, and the Cardinals are doing everything wrong. The Cardinals have the team. That's what, this is what boggles my mind these last two seasons. The Cardinals have the team. The offense is there. And going into this offseason, we were like, address the pitching. The offense will be fine, but address this pitching. And they did that, kind of. But
Sonny Gray's been great.
Lance Lynn.
He has been.
Lance Lynn has been decent.
Yeah.
They finally did what we've been asking, and that was to address this pitching staff in some sort of way. However, now it's the offense who's not producing, yet again, which I sure as hell thought that would switch. But it's just this team is mind-boggling to me. They have the team, they have the offense. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's not looking like if I were to buy, I'm buying zero stock into the Cardinals right now. Like, they worry me, man, a lot, and I don't know what the hell it is. I really don't.
And I know we're jumping all over the map here, but if I can go back to the Cubs real quick, I knew this shit was gonna happen the minute they traded him away. I just want to I want to show some flowers and give my love to Michael Bush. I fucking knew he was gonna do that.
Still a
He's hitting.
mind-boggling move, by the way.
He's hitting 309 with 6 home runs, 15 RBIs, and he has over 1,000 OPS. I knew he was gonna do that, and again, it's one of those things where there was just no room. There was just no room for him, um, to be on this team. There was just no to room.
Teach him to play second
Now,
base. Kick Gavin Lux out of town.
You also have some outfielders in that Dodger outfield that it's questionable. Should they have a job over Michael Bush?
Yeah. Anybody can play outfield these days.
I'm telling you, he's a young enough prospect. I don't know. Who am I to say?
Anyway, Melo, sorry.
What the hell was that all about?
Listen, I'm just saying, man. I called that. I hated that trade for the Dodgers. I'm sorry.
I did too. I didn't like it either, but I was just saying the whole time, oh, well, there was no room for him on this team. And now you're looking at some of the holes. It's like, yes, there could have been. There could have been. But yeah. So pressure's on Chicago because I think, well, I certainly picked them and I had them as a lock to win the division. It's going to be a disappointment if they don't win the division, in my opinion.
I may be eating crow when it comes to the end of the season about the Cardinals because I was really thinking they were going to bounce back big this year. I like the Sonny Gray edition, and so far, rightfully so, hasn't given up an earned run so far. He might have changed that last night, sorry. But he's had a great start to the season. Goldschmidt, terrible start to the season, like I said. And the prospects that you've called up haven't quite panned out. Jordan Walker has not fully gone. Mason Wynn has not fully gone. You called up Victor Scott. He's been off to one of the worst starts of the season. You sent him back down again now. So I don't know if it's time for a full-on rebuild there in St. Louis because, I mean, you've been thriving there for a while, honestly. That it'd be impressive if you didn't have to do a full-on teardown, but you might be getting to that point right now. Trade away Goldschmidt for whatever he's worth. See what you can get for Arenado. And yeah, and build around whatever else you get and whatever else you already have. Disappointed in the Cardinals. I really thought they were going to make it a fun race between the Reds, Cardinals, and the Cubs, and eventually would have been the Brewers anyway. But yeah,
I have the graphic up here. I'll tell you guys how real Matt was in on this Cardinals team. He had them not only hitting the over at 85.5. Now, granted, we all did. Okay, so we're all gonna look bad on that one, but then Matt did the unforsaken thing and had them winning the division.
I did.
Yes, he did. Now, Kyle and I had them finishing in second, granted. And we all had the Brewers finishing in fourth, which we did get called out for that from the beginning.
I think I took the over, though, on the Brewers. I think I was the only one who took the over. Is that true?
Yes, you were the only one that took the over on the Brewers.
Look at
so see, it balances out.
It balances out. Yep. I'm not a total idiot, but I'm not a genius. I'm somewhere in between. I'm okay with that. And you win some, you lose some. That's the name of the game we're in right now. But all right. Any other thoughts on the NL Central before we Glaze Shohei Ohtani for Melo's sake.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Oh.
No, he didn't even have anything to do with it. I put that in there because I think it's a cool little tidbit.
Is it?
Oh,
Well, okay. I mean, I didn't know Hideki Matsui was that much of a hero for you, but
Damn right he is.
you know he played for the Angels too, right? Yeah.
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 What kind of question is that, Matt? Come on, man. 2009 World Series MVP. Come on.
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
He's
I
gonna
want to
have his
talk about it.
he's
I
gonna
would
have his number 55 retired someday in Monument Park.
shocked he hasn't, to be honest with you.
um, yeah, Ohtani breaks the record most home runs as a Japanese-born player in
He's
Major League
Japanese,
Baseball.
man. Just want to make sure you understand. He's Japanese. Kind of hesitated
Is
there
that
at the
not?
beginning. No, you hesitated.
I
there
was
at the
trying to
beginning.
figure out how to phrase that, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Just
yeah, I know.
making sure.
I
Just making sure.
no, okay,
He's Japanese, man.
wow. No, I remember him in Team Japan striking out Mike Trout to
Okay.
win the World
Just
Baseball Classic.
just making sure. Just making sure.
Okay,
Just making
okay.
sure.
I feel called out here a little bit, but
Just
okay.
making sure.
I know what ethnicity Shohei Ohtani is.
Hey, expand your horizon a little bit, Matt. Don't be afraid. It's okay.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Not sure where to go from here. I was about to give Shohei Ohtani credit, but I don't know if I can do that
Oh, you
anymore.
can still do that. I'm just saying. Just he's Japanese, man. It's okay.
Yes. Yes, he is Japanese. Um, most home runs as a Japanese born player. And Ohtani just continues to impress Major League Baseball. And I don't even know where to go from here. Melo, go ahead. Glaze Ohtani and the 700 million.
Glaze Ohtani. Yeah. I was losing it over there.
Yeah, really. Come on. I'm catching
again,
strays. Hesitate for one half a second to
You
figure out how to
hesitated.
word it, and everybody thinks I'm a racist.
Okay, see now I didn't say racist. Now you did that to yourself. So, you put that in
No.
your own mouth. You
Flash
put that in the universe.
WBC.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to word the amount of Team Mexico fans, and I said
All the
Mexican
Mexicans.
fans, all the Mexicans,
Jeez.
because yep. That's what you get. Give me 5 business days to plan out how I want to phrase it, and then I'll be all right.
Good to know. I'll make sure to
Yeah.
be careful next time. I'll make sure to
Yep.
not jump the gun.
Okay.
Again, Ohtani, he's hit 5 home runs, but it seems like they're coming like at different times. Like they're like he hit his 4th home run. I think at the beginning of last home. It was I forget. I never forget. It was the very first home game of the homestand against San Diego. That's when he tied Hideki Matsui. And then it was like, all right, cool. The next home run he hits is gonna be significant. He didn't get that home run until yesterday, the very first final game of the homestand. So early on in the season, he's not hitting for power. He's hitting for average. He only has 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. He's hitting 368, which 2 weeks ago everybody was ready to kill him because he was hitting under the Mendoza line. That's like, relax, guys. He's gonna figure it out. And the thing that I like the most, he's stealing bases, and that's something that the Dodgers wanted to get him reaccolated on. He has 5 stolen bases, but I fully expect Ohtani to have a 30, 20, 40, 20 season. I hope he gets the 20 stolen bases, but I'm gonna glaze a little bit here. He's doing all of this on a supposedly bad, elbow, So imagine what
And
he
he
would be
just
doing.
found out his best friend was stealing $16 million from him
Yeah,
too. So
his best friend was a prick, and um. By the way, I heard something too about Tyler Glasnow. He did something with Chris Rose. Apparently, he was a shady dude, which I mean, you would never know that from Angel fans. But Yeah, another milestone for Ohtani, and it's gonna keep going. He's gonna keep going. He could
Yep.
easily, by the end of this season, have 200 career home runs. It's not out of the question.
Crazy. Crazy how long he's been in the league already. Feels
Six
like just
seasons.
feels like just yesterday he won excuse me, Rookie of the Year over Miguel Andujar, Yankees legend there, right, Kyle?
Bullshit. Yeah, Andujar got robbed, by the way. Anyway,
What do you got on Ohtani?
it, the dude's 29, man. I mean, he's gonna be breaking records left and right. And I put on my story the other day. Um, it was never a matter of if, but it was a matter of when he was gonna break this record. I mean, it's there's really not much to say. It's Shohei Ohtani, and Melo, you kind of hit on it a little bit. He's expanding his game a little bit. He's hitting for average. Just he's kind of stealing bases. He's doing a little bit of everything, and he's kind of gone down in the power department a little bit so far. However, he's still ranked tied with Teoscar Hernandez for second on the Dodgers leaderboard in home runs this year. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the value to this team that he has, I really don't know what will. I mean, this guy he's phenomenal. He's crazy. It's it's insane to watch him play baseball. It really is. And I think by the end of his career, I know I'm going to be glad that I got to watch him. You know, and it's just it's a testament to what Shohei Ohtani is. And yeah, he's going to keep doing it. I mean, that's it. He's insane,
Yep.
man. He really is.
Yep. Yeah.
And
So
he's wearing the right team jersey every
All
night too,
right.
which is
Yeah.
what I love to see. He's not rotted in Anaheim anymore.
no, he's just routing in Los Angeles now. So
Not really. I mean, he's thriving. You know, all the commercials and all the sponsorship deals, and hey, man, playing in front of the best fans in the world. It's incredible.
Uh, Teach
it's an
them.
interesting term to use. Yeah, but I think that's
Also
gonna pretty
playing
well
in the
do
greatest
it.
city in the world too, by the way.
All right, let's end this before Melo gets a little too crazy here.
Yeah. I agree.
Hey,
Episode 73.
hang on. I've been again.
Okay.
No more politically incorrect jokes or anything like that.
Okay.
I've been meaning to do this, to mention this. I picked Spencer Strider to win Cy Young before the season started. Can I get a do-over on that? We're not even a month into the season. Can I change my pick? Is that
Yeah, I think
okay?
we can give you a
With
yeah.
the
I
board of
think so.
governors here, with the
Uh-huh.
peanut gallery here,
Yep.
is that okay?
It depends on who you pick.
Oh, that's the thing. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
Oh, I
You
think we
jumping
could.
on the
I think
Jack
we could.
Miller bandwagon with Matt and
Yeah,
I? There's room for one more if you
jumping
want
on the
to come
bandwagon.
Yeah, give me Tyler Glass now.
over. Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think. I should have had this ready, but if I was gonna mention it,
Spencer Turnbull could be. Could be. Luis Severino match up with your pal
okay, wow,
Pedro
now
Martinez.
you're really reaching for the
Whoa,
bottom of the
whoa,
barrel
Pedro?
here.
No. Luis Severino's gotten off to a nice start. Come on.
Again,
I
law
will
of
I will
averages.
tolerate no Luis Severino disrespect on this podcast.
Yeah, a 2.14 ERA to start the season. Not too bad. It's like 2017 Luis Severino right there.
The good old days.
You got to pick Melo.
Yeah, give me Tyler Glass now. I'm gonna stick with that.
Oh, he is going to class now. Okay,
I am gonna stick with that.
fair enough. All right, that's going to do it. Episode 73 in the books. We appreciate you putting up with us. Melo's rooting for his favorite LA teams.
Go
in the
Lakers, go
postseason.
Kings. Yes,
That's right.
I'll be there all this weekend.
There you go. That's going to do it. Episode 73. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week. See ya.
Adios.